Well, welcome back to Cave Creek, Arizona. My name is Shay. I have one more entree for you this week, and I'm stepping a little bit out of the box. Who says an entree has to be only for dinner? Sometimes my family does like to have breakfast for dinner, so I thought, well, why not present a egg dish entree that can be used as for a brunch or an Easter breakfast or for dinner, for that matter. This I call my creamy Tuscan frittata. Really simple, really easy, because you're using some pre-made ingredients from your grocery store already. So let's get started. I have already cooked up some prosciutto in a fry pan, just like you would bacon. It doesn't have the fat content though, mind you, so be careful. It doesn't have all those juices to roll around in. It's going to take a few minutes just to cook that up just like you would bacon. A little key: when you're using these 6 ounces of prosciutto, you want to dice it up first, obviously, but it's really hard to do, so you want to do that with scissors. It makes it a whole lot easier. Just trim it up a little bit into the pan and you're all set to go. So I have that waiting over there off to the side. And then you take a can of your Pillsbury breadsticks, and it has 12 breadsticks in it. And one of the breadsticks you're just going to take and you're going to smush down in just like a little coil, little round thing with your fingers. Have the kids help with this, lots of fun. Your other second breadstick, or your other 6 breadsticks, you're going to take and twist and kind of stretch it a little bit so it will go all the way around your ring. Pinch it really good so it stays together, and then give it a little tap and pinch there on the edges so it stays together as well. So now you have all of them ready to go on a sprayed cookie sheet, and we have our oven preheating at 375. You can fresh make your basil pesto or go the easy route and do a tablespoon of fresh pesto, basil pesto, onto each little coil. Spread it around, and then you're going to take your 2 medium-sized tomatoes, slice them up about 1/4 inch, and you're going to save 6 of them aside, obviously, because you have 6, and you're going to place each of those into your little coil basket, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't that look yummy? And the other slices of your tomato you want to dice up and set aside for when you are ready to garnish your dish. Do a little sprinkle of salt and a little sprinkle of pepper onto each little one. And that is ready to go to pop into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how your oven cooks, until they're nice and golden brown on the edges, and then you'll set aside. I'll see you back here in a few and we'll whip up our eggs. So to continue on with our Tuscan theme, I am using the Philadelphia cooking cream, the Italian cheese and herb blend, which is fantastic for this dish, which is actually what I think this dish has been missing to begin with. So I have 6 eggs in my bowl, and I have about 4 good heaping tablespoons, or about 5 ounces of the cooking cream. And because I have this, I don't need to use any milk or added liquid to it. And because I'm using prosciutto, and the prosciutto is nice and salty, I don't need to add any salt to my eggs. I'm just adding a tiny bit of pepper, a couple tablespoons of fresh chopped basil, and I think by now you've probably learned from me, I always go fresh. And then my little secret ingredient that I've never told anybody, but I've always added to my eggs. I don't know where I learned it, or where I heard it, or how I started it, but it's about 1/8 of a teaspoon or a couple dashes of nutmeg to my eggs. And everybody always comments that my eggs are the best, and I always have to smile and never told anybody that this is what I do. So you're going to whip these up just like you're going to do with some scrambled eggs. Oh, look at how nice and creamy they already look. And then when your little coils of bread that we've already had popped in the oven are about 5 minutes left on the cooking time, you're going to go ahead and start up your skillet with 2 tablespoons of butter. And low and slow is my key on eggs. Just makes them come out more light and fluffy and airy if you do it low and slow. So I'll see you back here in a few as our eggs are getting cooked. They're looking gorgeous. We have about 5-7 minutes left to go on there, which is just about at the 13-14 minute mark, and our eggs are looking gorgeous. And again, low and slow. Just keep stirring them just like you would scrambled eggs. It's not rocket science. Just keep on stirring them. About halfway through the cooking of the eggs, you're going to add in your prosciutto. You're just going to dump it all in there and incorporate it throughout the eggs. So we've got the basil, we've got the Italian cream cheese, we have the prosciutto. How much more Tuscan can you get? Well, welcome back. Our eggs were almost completely void of any of that moisture, and so I pulled that off the heat, and look at how nicely, just since it sat here for a minute or two, it just looks marvelous. Our little coils came out of the oven, and we're just going to scoop a little bit of this egg mixture right on top. Be generous, because they just look so pretty. Okay, and that's the last of our egg mixture. Look how beautiful that looks. We're just going to top it, of course, with some mozzarella cheese. Keep with the Tuscan theme. We're going to pop it under the broiler. So I've already switched over my oven to broiler, and I pulled these out of the oven so that way it's all set to go. And they're already nice and hot. The eggs are already cooked. This is just going to get that cheese on the top nice and bubbly. And I'll see you back here when we plate it. So that last little broil in the oven only took a couple of minutes. I put them on my platter. Look how gorgeous that looks to serve to any buffet or little breakfast brunch party or just for dinner with the family. It makes it feel so special and fancy. Then I'm just sprinkling a little bit more of that fresh basil. Oh, I'm going to use my fingers. Your diced tomatoes. Look how colorful. And there you have my creamy Tuscan egg frittata.